Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and I just joked a little bit there when I said Kurt. And welcome back to Farlands or Bust. That's right. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust. I'm a little bit out of practice in the commentary thing, but we're gonna continue here. Farlands or Bust in episode. Oh, that's right. I chopped down some trees at the end of the last episode. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we're going to continue this series called Farlands or Bust here today in episode 540. 540. Let's replant these things to be good, ecologically conscious Farlanders as we continue not east but west towards those Farlands. Today on a Wednesday, question mark? Wednesday, December 16th, 2015. That's right, a Wednesday. Why a Wednesday? Because I can do whatever I dang well please, darn tell damnation. What? I went full southern there. But yeah, we're walking, and it is because I was away, as you may have realized. Well, some people didn't realize. Where's Farlands or Bust? Well, if you had seen the last episode, you would have known that I was missing a week of Farlands or Bustitude, because I did do some holiday traveling back home to see and visit the family and whatnot. So got that out of the way. Get in your travels and your holiday celebrations with families well before the prices of air travel skyrocket to skyrocketable, extraordinary, astronomical levels around the actual holidays. You will be relegated to be celebrating the holidays, not around the actual holidays. But no, that's fine. So yeah, that's what I did. I don't know. I don't really like saying. I mean, obviously, if there's like a convention going on, I'm going somewhere. But I don't like saying so much about where I'm going to be out of town. Please come rob me, or anything like that. And you should too. Kurt J. Mac Internet Safety Tip of the Week: don't proclaim and advertise. Disco Stew doesn't advertise. Don't advertise your whereabouts, your plans to the general population of the internet, for they are all going to get you. It is best to be completely paranoid about everything and completely sheltered throughout your entire life. Am I right, Wolfie? Boing, boing. Oh, I got the jumping. Oh, that was perfect. I got the jumping right on cue, and then instead of us jumping, it looked like the world was bouncing underneath us. Because that's the way perspective works. But yeah, this is episode 540. Doing it on a Wednesday because I got back and was unable to get it up on a Tuesday. So I think I'll also be live streaming today. So it's possible Twitch Wednesday will be happening and we will have a Farlands or Bust lunch break. So if you're one of those who perhaps jumps right onto the Farlands or Bust episode as it published, I'm probably also live streaming. And why don't you come on down to twitch.tv/KurtJMac and watch this very episode with a bunch of strangers that you can chat with whilst it's playing in the background and whilst I eat in the background. But yeah, so that's going on. And what else is going on? You guys have been going on. You've been going on to farlandsorbust.com and donating to Child's Play charity there, because we are all the way up to 18%, up to 11,000. When I left, we were 10,400. We're up to now $11,127.74 raised for Child's Play charity this season. Like I said, woof, over at farlandsorbust.com. That's where you can do that. I do appreciate all the continued donations. I should just leave more. It seems like whenever I leave, or whenever there aren't episodes of Farlands or Bust, that's when we get an influx of donations to the charity. But no, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, a lot of good donations in there. A good hefty portion of which were thanks to our Formula One teammate, Cone Dodger. He started a dirt rally league. A dirt rally league that included or asked for, not really required, but asked for a $10 registration fee, you know, like you have to register for certain races or whatever. $10 donation to Child's Play charity through Farlands or Bust. Registration fee, and a lot of you did indeed do that. I had a few people who donated or I'm sorry, it was like $5. I think it was $5. Did I say $5 or $10? Whatever. A $5 registration thing, and you know, some people just gave that and were like, oh, this was an idea from Cone Dodger. I don't own the game, but here. Oh, cool, thanks. So yeah, thanks to Cone Dodger for setting that up, and all the participants for hopefully having some fun and donating to Child's Play charity. I got, oh, I didn't get a question, but I figured I could get some questions as to why I didn't participate in this round. As you just heard, as you may have recently just learned, I was out of town, so I was unable to race in the league. So hopefully, maybe in the future one. Also, I don't want to. Well, I'm sure he'll be fine with it. But well, since this is I should. Yeah, I'm like, well, I don't want to like piggyback, and then suddenly he gets a lot of like non-Cone Dodger fans. He gets these wacky Kurt J. Mac Farlander fans. Those delinquents hanging out over there. I don't know, but I suppose that's no problem as long as we all adhere to the charity part of it. But I'm awaiting seeing his video on that to see where it's just basically like a private leaderboard, I suppose, where through Codemasters they have a situation where you can set up he set up a custom rally series, and those who drive through it get points and times. I don't know if they get points. Do they get points tallied up at the end? That might be something different. That's less than a leaderboard, but maybe there's points at the end. That is kind of like a career mode season, but with your friends. So I don't know, perhaps in the future, depending on how this one goes, we might participate in that. Because we're doing so well in Dirt Rally in the single-player mode. Whew! Oh, man. So, yeah. Thanks to everybody who did that. Like I said, farlandsorbust.com is where you can donate to Child's Play charity, helping get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. 'Tis the season for such a thing, so I appreciate that. And I said I would try to find something to like have a little bit of a goal, a little mini goal, a little incentive goal to reach before the end of the year. Previously, we had the Jason Statham initiative where I said if we raised a certain amount before the new year 2014 that I would shave my head, and I did do that. Or was it 2013? Good gravy. But it might have been 2013. But, yeah, so I'm trying to think of new things. I'm running out of time is the problem. We had a lot of good donations come in, so I'll think of something, and hopefully we'll get it up by the weekend here. That way you have at least like 2 weeks, and maybe depending on the situation, maybe we'll have a live stream, kind of, not a flobathon. I hesitate to even call these things mini flobathons, but a encourage donations-a-thon on the Twitch channel to hopefully maybe reach that goal. I've got some ideas, but I've just got to think of like the number to go for. That's both reasonable, but also a hefty milestone that has to take some effort to reach. Indeed. So yeah, this is the first video I'm recording, being back, and I feel a little bit out of practice. Also, I'm completely out of other videos. The Formula 1 and the Tomb Raider video yesterday were my last videos that I had pre-queued up to go up on the channel, so gotta get back to work, Kurt. Gotta get back to work. Speaking of which, Cone Dodger, with his donation to join his own Dirt Rally League, has asked, so how was going back home, quote unquote, now that you live so far? That was almost a song. I imagine he said it in that influx. Any sense of relief being isolated from YouTube stuff? Or was it frustrating? Happy December days. Happy Honda days. You know, well, oh, I'm dying. No, the weather is certainly, well, actually, no, it's kind of a weird thing. Well, when I went back, I didn't see the sun. Back home, I'm currently in Arizona, for those of you who don't know. I uploaded that Secret Santa thing from Mindcrack, and people are like, Kurt looks like that? It's like, where have you been? Went back home to Chicago from Arizona And that's where family obviously is. I have zero, count 'em, zero family out here. I'm a crazy person, but went back home, visited family, and it was actually warm. People were like, "Oh, thanks for bringing the warmth of Arizona." It was like 50s, 60 degrees, but it was cloudy. It was raining all the time. I'm like, gosh, I miss the sun. You know, perhaps I have some sort of now vitamin D dependency on the sun being here in Arizona, that being 5 days away from it, I'm like, I'm slowly withering away like a small tangerine. I was trying to think of a plum. A plum was the fruit I was going for. Plums turn into prunes, but I went with tangerine. You know, a tangerine. Let's go to sleep and tangerine in the morning. And tangerininess. Tangerininess. Ow! Tangerininess indeed. But, ooh, I think that's probably a spawner, but we don't see it. I don't see it. La 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 la, I don't see it. Yeah, going back home, that was kind of the main thing that stuck out. Obviously, I enjoy, you know, if I could, like, if convince my entire extended and immediate family to move out here, then great, but they're not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing I miss, is the family and whatnot to visit or whatever. So yeah, I had plans, oh, maybe I could go to like downtown Chicago, but I'm not far enough removed to do like touristy things. You know, I suppose if somebody was traveling from out of state, they'd want to see the sights, go to the museums, or just like even like food or whatever. I miss a lot of the food that I do like from Chicago. I can't eat anymore on account of the gluten, but yeah, I don't like go back for the food. Ooh, I gotta have a Portillo's hot dog or a Luminati's pizza or something like that. Nope, can't. No can do. It cannot happen anyway. But yeah, family is the reason to go back, and that is why I went back. And family was had. Hello, let's go on. There we go. And so yeah, but I did, you know, going on, I missed the sun. I missed my dog, who is fine. We picked her up, and everything is fine now, and she's sleeping in the corner. I'll try to take her out for a WALK in a minute. But the weird thing is, coming back, it's cold here now. It's unusually cold. We have freeze warnings. Watch out. It might drop below 32 degrees Fahrenheit here in Phoenix. Woo! So yeah, it's quite chilly. And like I said, okay, it's 55 degrees or whatever. That's all right. But in an atmosphere with no moisture in it, that's like, oh gosh, that's cold. That's really cold. It just feels much colder, even if there's no wind chill. That's another thing. There's not a lot of wind. Not many desert winds out here in Phoenix, in Arizona. So the wind was not a thing I was prepared to remember going back home. Not that I was outdoors much, but just, you know, being lambasted by a stiff breeze when exiting a vehicle or a building at certain points. This is kind of, what was this? 699497? That's kind of this monument right here. We made it atop a very similar random spire out in the middle of nowhere. That's neat. I like it. Do I have anything to give to this? No, I think I'm going to save the pink wool, by the way, for maybe like New Year's celebrations. Let's save it for that. I don't feel like it's important enough to carry around till episode 600, but New Year's celebrations. Careful away! So yeah, but yeah, I missed all that stuff, and I missed working. I missed doing this. I felt like I was in a bit of a role, and I'm like, okay, I got the Tomb Raider, I got the Forza, I got the Firelands or Bust, I've got the Dirt Rally, I've got the weekly live streams going off without a hitch, and nope, you gotta get up and travel many miles and be all away from all that stuff, and hope people don't forget about you. So hopefully you didn't forget about me, and we're continuing here in Firelands or Bust. But yeah, thanks for setting that up, Cone Dodger, and the donation and the question. Similar question from a different anonymous Conehead, is that what your guys are called? Asked, when are you going to be joining Cone Dodger, Wolfie, in his iRacing series. That game, while I do know that I do say that I appreciate and enjoy the racing simulators more so than the arcade racers, I enjoy Assetto Corsa, and, well, that's about the only simulator I play. I mean, Formula 1 is arcade-ish, but is a little, if somebody was coming from, like, say, Forza to the Codemasters F1 games, then they would think it was a simulator. Those sort of things, the old NASCAR games. But iRacing is on another level because it's multiplayer. That's a lot of pressure for a person, particularly a person like myself who messes up royally all the time. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems like there's got to be a lot of dedication, practice. There's no racing line, and practice and concentration. I mean, even in Formula 1, I'm concentrating way too much. I'm finding this, and I keep trying to correct for this, but it's a very bad habit that I start concentrating, and then I get into the mode where, like, oh, I'm just playing a video game with my friend, Cone Dodger, and I'm not, I forget that I'm recording a video and that I need to provide this commentary thing, because I'm concentrating on not flying off the track at 200 miles an hour all the time. Yeah, I feel like that would be tenfold worse with iRacing. So yeah, I don't know. I can't foresee that. I mean, I think what Cone Dodger does for videos works really well, and he makes good videos, but I don't know that many other people who make commentary videos in iRacing, and I certainly don't know that my multitasking skills are up for the chop to that, but I appreciate not the first time that's been asked, but or even just playing the game in general. Like, there's no single player in that. If there was single player and I could just race against some bots, that'd be great, but I don't think there is. I think it's all multiplayer, which is why there's a subscription-based thing, and you need to, like, buy the ability to race in current series, and, like, you get penalized. Like, your character, it's like your credit score gets adjusted if you get in a wreck or something like that, and then you're not allowed to race. So yeah, that's just too much pressure for old Kurtjmac, I feel. Which is maybe why I'm not going to do real racing ever. Oh man, that's a sad thing to learn. But yeah, let's go on to some more questions. We got a lot more questions thanks to this recent influx. I was running out. I had like 3 left after the last episode, so I'm glad everybody pitched in here for Farlands or Bust. For Child's Play charity at farlandsorbust.com. This one from River. Regarding your comments of people of all genders and women, men, and everyone in between, are you familiar with the non-binary genders? Perhaps you have a transgender friend or acquaintance? I don't, other than those I know. They don't know me. I'm not like friend or anything. Like, on the internet, people on the internet. But, so yeah, I don't personally know. But I just feel like that's just a courtesy thing. I certainly didn't used to say that before, but the times be changing, and I feel the internet community, those of us of the younger generation, I suppose, if I can still cling to that label on myself, will be a little bit more progressive on that front, I think is the word I'm looking for there, and be more inclusive as much as possible, as reasonable in whatever situations, and in those situations where I say certain colloquial things like that. I'm using all the I know those words. I can include people and different groups of people in my speech, but thinking of the actual words to describe what I'm doing is completely beyond me. My vocabulary is weirdly skewed situation. I'm pretty sure situation was a bad word there for that, but that's a word I use for anything. Well, boy, this dirt here is a strange situation now, isn't it? So yeah, I mean that's all I think I can relate it to. But no, I don't know anybody in particular. I'm not like part of any sort of thrust or movement towards this, that, or the other. It's just, oh, this is the way it is. This is the way that is most inclusive of people. Then this is the way I will do things. So yeah, that it is a little bit of a conscious effort, because even, you know, growing up a 90s kid, you know, those were the years where, you know, through middle, elementary, and high school, you know, if things were quote-unquote dumb or stupid, you're like, oh, that's gay, or oh, that's retarded, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. You know, you try to grow up. I suppose that's the perfect word for it. Grow up. You try to grow up and go beyond those things. I don't want to be, you know, weird old Uncle Kurt J. Mac with his weird, you know, everybody has a weird, great uncle or grandma or something who's like, that was a little bit racist what you just said, grandma. But maybe you don't, that's fine, and maybe that's the type of person who has progressed and has gotten with the times. But I don't want people to be excusing things for my behalf, if that makes any sense. So I'm trying to keep up and trying to keep inclusive, and specifically here where I know I'm talking to not just, you know, myself, as it were. I am not my own demographic. I try to be inclusive of people as well. So, whoa, what the heck just happened to my mouse there? Did you see that? Just like in a split second, I was looking up at the sky. Oh, speaking of the sky, I had a night flight, and I saw 4 meteors. Of course, I got the window seat, but I saw 4 meteors, like, rather by accident. I saw them, and then I, like, very intently, like, pressed my face up against the window and tried to see more. You don't see meteors when you're trying to see them, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I definitely, you know, at first I thought, oh, maybe it's like a reflection or something, but no, then I saw coming from the same direction, and I think 2 days ago there was the peak of is it the Quantradids or something? Meteor shower here in December, I think that's what it is. That the peak was a couple days previous, when I was in Illinois, when I was completely clouded over the entire 5 days I was there, so I had no chance of seeing any there, but I had to get above the clouds and in the plains. So yeah, it was really cool. It's kind of neat to see that stuff from way up there, but we're gonna go to sleep. No meteors here, and we are going to continue in the morning. And awakeness. Speaking of and awakeness, Want2, with their donation, is wondering, has the Force awakened yet? The Force has not awakened. I don't think the Force has awakened for anybody. Doesn't it release, like, Thursday or something? Speaking of the new Star Wars film, I did have an opportunity just earlier today to have some possibility to see an early Saturday morning viewing, but I still feel like that's going to be crowded. Like, does it come out Thursday night or Friday night? You know, normally all these, like, it's probably Thursday night, like midnight showings, but I feel like an early morning, I'm talking like well before noon showing, is still going to be crowded. Is it? Am I wrong? Am I worrying too much? Should I take these free tickets? Or I feel like, yes, I want to see this movie, but I don't want to stand on the line. Here's where I become the old grump. More and more, I find myself less patient to be. I mean, you know, I understand waiting in lines or having to, you know, waiting in lines. You know, it's an acceptable thing to wait in line at, like, the DMV or, you know, waiting to board the airplane or whatever. But, like, if I go to a restaurant, 15-20 minute wait is about my cutoff. Anything more than that, it either has to be like some really amazing food, or I'm just going home. You know, if there's no other place, or looking for another place or whatever. So yeah, waiting for that. I do remember in the past, oh, we got to get to the movie theater 45 minutes before the showtime because we want to get a good seat in the middle and not up in the front, and there might be a line because it's opening weekend. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to wait in line longer than the duration of the movie itself. What's going on? This is like the 3rd zombie spawner we've potentially passed. Now this, my friends, is a situation. Oh, it might be exposed. Oh, it might not. Woof. Wolfie says continue on. All right, we got to listen to him. He's probably saying, no, dig. Whoa, speaking of which, watch your step. Mind the gap. So yeah, no, not yet. I mean, it might be another week or so, or it'll go during the weekday when people are at work. That's the other thing I worry about, is Saturday. Is that wrong? I just remember hearing, oh, everything's sold out, but was that just like opening day stuff was sold out, or I don't know. Waiting in line. Oh man, let's see here if we can answer some more questions. Yeah, we have time for these two. We have a few here that are consistent to a theme. This one from Charles, my dear. In the UK, what other charity fundraising events have you done in the past, before, or even alongside Farlands or Bust? And if so, any advice for raising money for charity? And similarly, Ryder Red Games asks, I've been doing a small charity livestream marathon on Twitch for Child's Play every year for the past 3 years with some friends, and the next one is coming up. I'm assuming your channel is Red Games, REDDGAMES. Plug. What kind of tips would you have for someone who is also gaming for charity? Thanks. Similar questions, but what other charity fundraising events have I done in the past? None. Like before Farlands or Bust, that was one of my, well, I think on the first episode for the charity, or a couple episodes down the line, I kind of mentioned how I've never been involved with charity things. I've never been involved with volunteer stuff, like I don't feed soup to the homeless or do this, that, or the other, you know, beyond my own personal either monetary or like, you know, donating your whatever old car or clothes or whatever for this cause or whatever. But yeah, I've never personally been involved in that sort of activities ever, and I always felt a little bit kind of like, maybe I should, you know, like, I don't want to be just a heap of trash, caring nothing about nobody. I want to help out. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I started the charity part of Farlands or Bust, Child's Play charity. Wolfie knows. I've told him many, many times. He's been here for the whole thing. So I haven't ever been. I mean, I suppose, do you count the Mindcrack Marathon would be like the only thing that's different, but you know, that's after the fact, and that's like, you know, oh, we're doing this thing as a group, we've determined it's a good thing, and this is what's happening. I'm like, count me on board to assist with such endeavors. But otherwise, no, I've never not been much of the philanthropist ever before starting Farlands or Bust. Get sliced. Get wolfied. Ooh, that pig was not dry. Let's have Wolfie sit down before we have we're overstocked on pork bones. And then they both asked any advice. I don't know, because my method of charity fundraising is very different. Speaking even just within the gaming community, it's very different than the gaming community. I mean, we had our 48-hour live stream Mindcrack Marathon. That's generally how the things go. You got your Desert Bus just happened, your Mario Marathons, even your Zelda-thons are, say, week-long marathons. Very short-term time frame, but big on the donations, big on the pizzazz, the fireworks, the zazzle, if you will. Whereas Farlands or Bust is very much like the journey itself, which I think is good. It was kind of an accidental thing. I never really intended for that to be a similarity, but much like the journey to the Farlands itself, it's a lot of walking and doing, you know, the same stuff. Every once in a while, there's some very exciting stuff happening, and you get some big bumps in donations. You get some big bumps falling down holes or almost jumping in lava or whatever, but for the most part, it's a pretty steady, constant adventure, just like the donations that come along with it are very steady and constant and slower. Yes, slower, certainly. You know, if we did a Mindcrack marathon, all the time. You know, if Minecraft Marathon was a year-long endeavor, it would be a lot slower of a burn too. It wouldn't be $200,000 in one weekend. It would be $200,000 over the course of a period of time. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could always try this method. I don't know of that many. I mean, sure there are, but I don't know of too many other fundraisers that kind of work just as kind of a constant thing in the background, you know? It's kind of in the foreground here even, but yeah, I don't know if I have any advice. I also don't like to do the stunts. I don't like to do the, oh, I'll wax my eyebrows off at $100,000, or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just not my style. Just like it's not my style in Far Lands or Bust to jump into the Nether to get there 8 times faster, or to get a flight mod or upgrade to the latest version so I can sprint or even anything like that, or ride a horse. You know, I'm not. It lacks the zazzle, but it maintains the consistency, I feel. Comfort, even, you could call it. So that's kind of the way I do it. I don't know. It's a difficult thing, and I don't know. I don't know what events I'm going to, but I was trying to see about. First, I was trying to see if I could like get some sort of Guinness World Records panel at an upcoming PAX, but that has fallen through because I don't know any other of the Guinness World Record folks from that book. I don't even own a copy of the book. So that kind of fell through. But my other idea was to, like a charity. There wasn't at PAX Prime because they were busy, but there's usually a Child's Play charity panel where they go over what's gone on throughout the year and upcoming projects. And they do a little bit of, this is how you should, if you want to start your fundraiser for Child's Play charity, these are good tips or good ideas, and they give some recognition to, the Cookie Brigade, the Desert Bus, the Far Lands or Bust, that guy, and, stuff like that. But I was thinking it would be interesting to have a totally separate panel for the charity folks. Like maybe we could have Good or Aurelian, they're both very involved with the Extra Life thing of organizing a lot of that stuff. We could find, I don't know them, but the Desert Bus people, the Zeldathon people, MC Gamer, to kind of get a panel on that, so that people perhaps maybe want to hear trials and tribulations, stories, tips and tricks, because obviously we've just had in the past instance here, we've had 2 questions on it already, and I always get questions on it. So I don't know. Certainly, all the panels are closed for PAX South, but I'll consider thinking about it. Of course, again, you're looking at Kurt J. Mac. I'm not necessarily the prime choice for somebody to stand up and say, yes, I will be the one to organize this complete group of strangers into a cohesive event and panel. Look at these mountains. These are neat. They look like, they could be really far away, and those are like, peaks or whatever, but they're really close. But I like them. They're like cat ears. It's the Batman Mountains, Wolfie. The Batman Mountains. Speaking of Batman, let's make our own Bat Cave. Wow, I'm quite surprised I thought of that here in this very immediate moment. All right, Wolfie, you wanna... No? You're shaking your head there. There you go. Well done. All right, let's dig in for the end of the episode. I hope everybody enjoyed. I hope you were all patient and found something else to do in the times that Far Lands or Bust was not going up, but we're back. Yeah, like I said, this is a Wednesday episode. I think we'll try to turn around and get right back on the... well, maybe not. Maybe the next one will be Friday and then Saturday. Like I said, because I'm thinking of live streaming tomorrow, so that takes up a chunk of time and resources. But, yeah. I do appreciate everybody watching, all those new donations. I hope everybody, everything went well with the Cone Dodger Dirt Rally. I keep wanting to say Rocket League just because it's got the word league in it, but it's the Dirt Rally League there, and I appreciate the support for Far Lands of Bust through that. We gotta chop down more trees. I just chopped down a bunch of trees. I just planted a bunch of trees from those chopped down trees. It's crazy. But, yeah. cool beans. farlandsbus.com. Keep going over there to keep donating. I'll have some sort of little incentive. No waxing of any body hairs or any pies to the face or smoothie challenges like that. But we'll think of something to get a little bit of a end of the year bump here to the charity donations at farlandsbus.com. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate you watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Cause I can do whatever I dang well please, darn tell damnation.